Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Our topic for today will be about fear and phobia. So let's start with our first contestant, and let's hear your thoughts and opinions.
Hi guys, my name is Tushon from 11th grade. So I want you guys to explain some phobias meaning and some sort. Everybody has a fear and getting anxiety feeling about certain things, whether it would be spider crawling or getting up the group of people. So phobia has three types. First one is specific phobia. Second one is agoraphobia. Third one is social phobia. So in Mongolia, actually in our school have so many students who have a social phobia. The most important thing is make the more activities like that. It helps students to more confident and more purposely. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, my name is Ninjing and I'm from the 10th grade. Today I'm gonna talk about two types of phobia, which is Hippopotame says Cubipedalia phobia, which means fear of long words. And an easy way to learn phobias is to read a novel called School of Fear, which teaches you a lot of phobias. And I have a phobia called parasite phobia. It has many holes and worms in it. It's so disgusting. I can't bear them. Yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Namo from 11th grade. Today I'm gonna discuss experience which I faced as my phobia and give the advice to how to promote your phobia. Phobia is an irrational fear of something. Some people say phobia and a fear is same thing, but it's different. Difference between phobia and a fear is, let me give an example. If you refuse to travel in an airplane because you thought plane will be crashed, that's the largely irrational phobia, a fear. It's in one word, that is a phobia. Individuals with a phobia go to a great length to avoid perceived danger, which is much greater in their mind in real life. Every people on the earth, there has a specific phobia, such as fear of the needles or fear of the spiders. Since I was a young girl, my life always been crippled by fear. I remember that my uncle bought a new dog for his house, and his dog wanted to play with me and running to me. When I saw that, I had a panic attack, and I realized that I would run away from this dog because I have a dog phobia. Or when I entered in dark room, I already thought about horrible things such like ghosts. Then I thought to myself, why am I afraid of these little things? I'm much bigger than dogs. This fear is nothing to me. Then I push myself to face my phobia. The result of that, I to be attached to dogs. Now I don't even afraid of dogs. In conclusion, if you have a specific phobia, you should consider that there is nothing that can change your life destiny, but it can change your confidence. Thank you.
Hello, I'm from 12th grade, and my opinion on phobia is mostly phobia develops when you are like young, when you are children, and it goes through genetics. So I think family should teach children how to fight the phobia. For example, if children has arachnophobia, which is fear of spiders, parents should teach them how to not be afraid of the spiders, and that way, if we teach all the children how to fight their phobia, I think the chain will stop. Yeah. It goes through genetics, I said, and if we do that, I think it will be a huge improvement through our evolution. It will be huge step, I think.
Hello, my name is Edongwa. I'm from 9th grade. So, students before me talked about how to treat phobias or about facts about phobias, but I didn't actually read about phobias. So, I'm gonna tell you about my phobias. Wait, I just realized I don't have a phobia, and that is a pretty good news for me. So, if you have a phobia, you have to consider about treating it. If you don't treat it, you're gonna have to worry about the phobia all your life. So think about that. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Hashirton. I am from 12th grade, and I'm gonna explain phobia in my opinion. In my opinion, phobia is a fear, but different kind of fear that cause of object of fear, and phobia is way different from actual fear. It's not like when you are scared or terrified. It's just like fear of something abnormal things. And in my opinion, everybody has phobia, but someone has known it, someone are hiding it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Anima from 9th grade, and phobia itself is a type of anxiety disorder. Phobia has three main classifications. One of them is agoraphobia, and the other one is social phobia. Social phobia is basically fear of being judged by people. And specific phobia includes fear of certain animals, objects, or situations. For example, the most common example of specific phobia is arachnophobia, fear of spiders, which I suffer from, and fear of blushing is a social phobia, and I'm blushing now, so don't mind my red face.
Hi, my name is Irmon and I'm from 9th grade. So phobia is a type of a disorder, I think. And for example, you can have a fear of some object or a situation. So, like, I will take myself as an example. So I get really nervous in front of a camera, and there's a mic in front of me. So, and there's a lot of people sitting here. So. I get a little nervous, and I think I suffer from this phobia. And the way to overcome your fear is like you have to face it and deal with it, and so that way that you have an experience and know that you're getting better and better facing those fears, and I think that's it.
My name is Summerworld and I came from the 9th grade. I think phobia is more deeper than fear. The fear is just something you happen at that moment. I think phobia is always happen hard to fight. When I was young, I was scared of toilets because of some horror movie or some stories. And I don't know more.
Thank you so much for sharing. I am so pleased to hear all of your opinions, and I wanted to add mine also. This is just a memory. So I have many types of phobias, I'll be honest. One of the most serious ones are acrophobia. Acrophobia is fear of heights. And I always thought, why was I so afraid of heights? And later on, I found out that when I was 2 or 3 years old, my mom used to put me on a big ladder or something to punish me. So that's how it started, I guess. So when I just ride a horse or something, that's like too high for me. So, yeah. Our first question is, what are the most common types of phobias you face at school?
In my opinion, I have no phobia because I'm really open person. So most students are faced to social phobia because they are maybe stereotypes like that.
Well, I think it's trypophobia because a lot of people face fears such as watching holes in our arm or something like that. And my friends always mock me by showing the pictures of trypophobia to me, and I get very scared.
In my opinion, the common phobia in school is making mistakes. Um, Most of our students is afraid of them making mistakes and how to fix it. That is my opinion.
I think it would be social phobia, because we're talking about school, right? Because many people have social phobia. Like, I think like 70% maybe. A lot of students have social phobia, and yeah, I have it too. So I think that's.
Yes, I totally agree with you guys. So, for example, when we are doing a speech in front of our class, and we get nervous and red and maybe shake, and that is the most common thing.
In my opinion, the most common phobia in school is being judged by people and by making mistake they don't know.
The most common fear in school would be afraid of not being good enough, which I forgot the name.
As you guys mentioned before, and like I think the common phobia is social phobia, and let's say you want to express something, but you're scared that your classmates or your teacher will discriminate you and judge you by the things you expressed. So I think students have a lot of social phobia, and they can't overcome it.
In my opinion, it's phobia of making mistakes. Some people think if you're making mistakes and people think you're a bad person, they will think we can't be friends with him, and that person can be alone and have no friends.
Thank you so much. Our next question is, do you think our society lives in...
Yeah, I think so, because I just saw a news about so many Chinese people come to our country, and I got a fear of getting beaten by so many Chinese people when I was walking home alone. So I think our country lives in the fear. Yeah.
It's true. Our society is more dangerous now. But let's hit a positive way. If Chinese people entered into Mongolia, Mongolia's technology will highly develop it. There has improved the technologies and building a taller house like the other countries in Asia or America.
I think social phobia is the biggest fear of we live under, because social phobia was developed because we judge each other. We judge each other by their appearance. We judge each other by their thoughts, and that's why social phobia developed. And I think that's just wrong, because why would you judging someone doesn't gain you anything, and the amount of damage social phobia has done to our society and environment is so much.
Yes, our city is full of fears, and most of people haven't came over their fear yet. So some of them take advantage of it and make fun of them or bully them or through social network or while talking. So this happens all the time. So our city is full of fears.
In my opinion, social phobia is being judged by a little mistake they made and suffer from it.
The irony is that society tells you to be yourself, but then they judge you for being yourself. So I think society is afraid of something different.
You might have seen it on the news that the U.S. is sending a ship to North Korea, I think, and North Korea is threatening to release a nuclear weapon. So, like, if you launch a nuclear missile, and the World War III begins, and like people will have fear of death, and you know, like they would need some world peace. So I think it's the most fear currently right now.
Many peoples of our countries have a fear and worry about something. Big example is about our country's finance. Its situation is very bad, and like first about the money. First you get the 1 ruble as a 30 Turk, and now it's like 50 Turk. It says there's really big difference in there.
Right. So the next question is, how would you help someone to get over their fears? What are some practical ways? Now, of course, it's easy, just, be a man or have some courage or go to karate or something. But emotionally, psychologically, how can we actually help them?
I would advise to person who has fear, please face your fear. And as I told my opinion, I'm facing my phobia, which is afraid of the dogs. Then you should realize that your phobia, your fear is nothing. It can't change your life destiny. And then you should only remind yourself you are much bigger than your fear. If you promote your fear, you can achieve all the things that you want. Okay, thank you.
I think I would like to suggest them to meditate, because meditating bolsters your brain to be strengthful. And I heard on the news that some man had a lot of fears about a lot of certain things, a lot of phobias, and he started to meditate for like 3 or 4 months, and all of his fears were gone, and he posted about that.
Well, showing them how to react in the right way is the best way to help them.
In my opinion, I would like to suggest people who have phobia and just face it and calmly. Just at that moment, you need to be calm, and just being calm is the way.
I would recommend them to take treatments, scientifically proven treatments like medications.
I would recommend to just face it and take a risk. And by taking a risk, you're learning something that you will never forget. So maybe in the future, you might you'll encounter something. So let's say you have your experience. So from that experience, you know what to do and what to expect from that kind of situation.
My opinion is make that fear as his enjoyable stuff. Show him what is the good thing about that fear, and face him and show him it is safe and it is somehow it's helpful.
So, when I was young, I was fear from the dark, and then I grown up and I realized that the dark is just black color. So the best method is just face them.
Yeah, and I totally agree with Amra because if you see the beauty in the fear or phobia and anything you get scared of, you could face and get rid of the fear or phobia.
Thank you, everyone. I have collected some of the most common types of fears that children among your age face. And one of them was afraid of failing in life in general, not achieving the goals that you have set in your life. What are your thoughts?
I think if you set that goal from the beginning, you should achieve that goal no matter what. You should try to be. If you give up, that's like the worst thing.
Well, not succeeding your goal is pretty bad thing. Well, like I mentioned before, I don't have a phobia, but I have a little bit of fear, because phobia is not same as the fear. So it's that when I grow up, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do for a living. Just learning things from school is not enough. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. That's the fear.
In my opinion, you should have, if you have only failed, if you have only failed, if you give up to life.
It's very relatable to me because I used to have that fear too.
I totally agree with that phobia. So, like, if you don't succeed and achieve something that you have set as a goal in your life, like you're gonna, when you graduate university, what are you gonna do? Where are you gonna work? And how you make a living is really hard, I think.
Almost most people, school students are really scared of fail on study or something else. And in my opinion, it will make him not precious anymore.
When we grown up, we face the one problem. This is the fear from the future. Because, in my opinion, I was fear from the future because this is the fear of fail, and this is if I can't reach the goal and if I can't apply some university, or what can I do for like that? But I can't fix them.
Okay, could you explain the question again? I don't think I understood it.
So, one of the students were afraid of failing in life in general. So, everyone has a dream, right? You're going to successfully graduate your high school, graduate your college or university, get a career, have a wonderful life. But what if it doesn't work out?
I think he could do the best he can do. For such as if he is good at dancing, he could become a dancer, or if he is good at singing, he could become a singer. So he have to give his best to what he can do the best.
I have experience which my goal is failing. That is, when I in hard working and study hard for my TOEFL test, and I got a bad point. That's making me. That's losing my confidence about myself. Then my brother offered to me, do your think that you best, then I should working on my TOEFL test, but it can't achieve. After that, I push myself, and if I do that, my dreams will be coming true. Then I can become much bigger coins that I ever seen. And I do the mathematics, and I actually good at mathematics, then English. Then I would offer the person who if failed their dreams, you should do your best thing you can. Thank you.
Our next question is not measuring up. Now, in my opinion, if we compare ourselves to our parents or some of our elderly people, this is just my opinion, but I don't think I'm even halfway there. My dad was very successful in life. At my age, he was doing many things that I'm not even there yet, that I can only dream of. So what do you think of the fear of not measuring up to expectations or not measuring up to your parents?
Well, I have this cousin who doesn't have a home or a husband or maybe anything but us. So I really pity him. So I don't want to become like him, and I don't want to measure myself to him. So I gotta get bigger and better than him.
In my opinion, the point is you have to be hardworking and push harder, and only things, don't give up. That's the point.
I don't think you. I mean, I think you don't have to compare yourself to your parents because they're different.
Like, you don't have to copy everyone else. Be yourself and do what you want, and don't take others' words. And if they judge you, take them as an compliment. So, like, if they tell you you're bad at this, and you get better and better on that situation. So you.
I have nothing to add about this.
My mother always told me that you have to study with the grade A, but I don't think so. Person who is most grateful for him or herself, it could be the better. In my opinion, be yourself and don't box yourself like the box or some bottle.
Well, I don't think you have to measure yourself with your parents or grandparents, because when they were young, their society were different. They have to write a letter, but nowadays we can just write texts, comments and stuffs. And so I think, you don't have to measure yourself with your parents, because the society and the technology and everything is different from the time.
Our environment changing generation to generation, and our parents' generation is the society, and they has depending on Russia, but we are in a global. We should. Then you don't measure yourself with your parents.
I think it's just stupid. I mean, being afraid that you won't be able to become as much big person as the person you look up to. I think that's what keeps you from being as big, you know. I think that these kind of fears are just unnecessary, and you should get rid of that fears. People are different, you know. There are higher people than you, lower people than you. No one forces to become bigger as the person you look up to. I mean, no one just. If you don't become as bigger person, you won't die. Like, there's nothing to fear about that.
Our next question is, How are social networks contributing to fear among teenagers? Social networks such as, Twitter, Facebook, how are they contributing to fear among you guys?
On social media, let's say you have posted a picture of yourself and some random dude comes in and offends you, so you just think about it and all day. But this is a kind of cyberbullying, I think. So really that you should ignore this kind of situations. So, or if you get threatened to be killed or something really not nice, you can tell it to the police or report it to your parents. So to avoid social media, as much as possible, I think.
Do you agree with Idmo, Amra?
Yeah. And people scared of their private stuff or don't want to show other stuffs are posted on Facebook or Twitter, and usually people scared of that.
The best example of social media is, of course, Facebook. The Facebook environment of Facebook in teenagers, maybe this is make children to get in the social phobia, because, for example, if I posted my picture and one person is laughed at me and joked me, I'm very shame on me, and I can't get in the public and conversation with some people.
Well, if you have social phobia, social networks can help you very much because, for example, you saw a cute girl in the street, but you were afraid to ask her number or name. But in social media, you can just send friend requests and write messages.
In social media, people judge them a person who don't know. If I saw in a boy who posted in stupid thing, but I criticize him, he is stupid. But it is limitless. If you judge person who don't know, but you only saw in a post on a Facebook, you don't even judge him. He is the only posting him opinion, but he is not himself. He is not posting himself.
I think social media is the main reason that people nowadays have a lot of social phobia and fear of other people. But the thing is, it's not the people who are bullying the victim, people who are judging the victim. It's not their fault actually, if you think about it. I mean, they're doing it unconsciously to feel better about themselves. If you work with other people and judge someone, you feel about yourself, and they're unconscious, and it's just society's fault. I mean, it's not their fault, I think.
Also, cyberbullying is one of the biggest problems in Mongolia. So there was even a campaign about how to not bully them. And this is the dark side of internet, I think. So this actually creates social phobia. And in conclusion, we don't have to judge others. It's just their opinion and their thing. We don't have to look into their life.
I think, in my opinion, social media making social phobia even worse because people who can't talk with someone in real life, for social media making the way to make easy to connect people and avoid their fears.
Social media can trigger the fear of being not good enough. Like, social media is more judgmental than in real life, because in real life, people are afraid to say horrible things right on your face. right in your face. But on social media, they can hide their identification, like their name or their picture, and social media can be very offensive. There are like so many negative and rude things there.
So you agree with the contribution?
Yes.
So our discussion is coming to an ending. So now, if you have any final thoughts and solutions, you may share.
As I mentioned it before, I was getting nervous in front of the camera and the mic in front of me. So now I'm getting a hang of it. So I kind of can express myself. So like, take this as a lesson. So overcome your fear. To overcome your fear, just face it and don't be afraid.
You know what social phobia is occurring to every people, so don't think about I'm the only person I have a phobia. So phobia is just a little thing like a dog or a spider. So you are the person and the human, and we are the human, so we are more creative and more educated. So just face them and just push them.
Thousands of people have phobias, so I think what you have to do is just see the beauty in the things such as darkness. Without darkness, you can see the stars, right? So I think you just have to face your fear, and yeah, I think that's all.
First, please don't judge people. If you stereotyping person, that person will be having a phobia of like social phobia. And if you want to promote your phobia, you should face them. It's the best way to promote your phobia.
So we can't judge. We don't have to judge. I mean, we shouldn't judge each other. When we judge or say bad things about them, we gotta think there is karma waiting for you.
If you're wondering about how you get phobia, I'm going to talk about that. Frightening events or stressful situations can cause a phobia. Sympathy of phobia is sweating, getting nervous, feeling dizzy. If you feel this, you have a phobia.
And one more thing. How can we stop these, as the phobias that you've mentioned? How can we overcome this, or what are the solutions?
Sympathy of phobia is most of feeling nervous. Feeling nervous, only solution is being calm, and that's the way.
Sorry, what was the question again?
So the question was just your final thoughts and solutions about phobia and fear in general.
I have no opinion on that.
Thank you all so much for sharing your thoughts. And as you all know, this was our first session. We've never actually done this type of recording before. So later on, if we want to do this again, what are your thoughts, maybe the next topic, or we can do it in a different way, So does anybody have any ideas? Yes, let's start with you.
I think that our next discussion would be about discrimination. So, every student is not the same. So, one student might have physical and mental disorders. So you discriminate him for being different. So that's a nice idea to discuss.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I think we should dig further into the social phobia problem, because I think it's just so big and we should not skip it, I think.
Well, I have an idea about saving wildlife or protecting it. I think it will be a great topic for the next video.
in my opinion, the next discussion is how to overcome the law failing. I think that is most interested in the students.
Yes, thank you. All right, so let's start with Irmun's suggestion. It was about discrimination, right? All right, I agree with you. That was a great idea. And Tugultur, you are totally correct. We did talk about phobia and fear in general, but we didn't go in depth, right? So next time, yes, we can talk about social media, social phobias, and we can talk more about it, right? Like how it's actually affecting people. And your thoughts were about wildlife and animals?
Yeah.
Yes. You know, hundreds of animals are going extinct today. We should take care of our nature. So that's a great topic too. And last but not least, I completely agree with you. You guys are entering adolescence. You're becoming teenagers. You know, love is an inevitable thing. So that would be an awesome topic also. So thank you so much.